Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on our call. This is our very first Tips from the Top community call. We have the amazing Kaz Aylott joining us. She is going to help you outside your business, so how to reach out to new people. She has so many great tips. We're going to have her go ahead and start us off.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Sabrina. Thanks for introducing me. Hello, everyone. Hey, I hope you're having a great morning so far. It's 11:30 here in Colorado, and the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and the trees are looking gorgeous. So it's a good day. As Sabrina said, I'm Kaz. I'm English, as you can probably tell, my husband, and I moved to the States about 25 years ago. Our boys were born here. We have Edward, who is almost 20, William, who was 17 yesterday. So life is full with family. But today we're chatting about how to build your business outside of what I call your warm circle. So that means that a lot of us, when we start a business like this, are fortunate to have friends, family who we can go to immediately and just get their support. Maybe they're going to buy wine from us. Maybe they're going to host an event with us as opposed to for us, because we have an amazing gift to give our customers, our hosts, and people that we sponsor on our team. Some of us don't have that. So sometimes the people that you think are going to support you quickest and best and most end up not doing that. And that's actually not unusual in this kind of business. I don't know what the psychology is behind that, but we have wine, and that gives us, I think, an advantage over a lot of other types of business like this. But either way, so whether you have that kind of kickstart with friends and family or you don't, at some point, all of us have to get outside of the friends, the family, the neighbors that you sit on the porch with, drinking the porch pounder, Sauvignon Blanc. And you have to get outside of that group of people to have a really thriving, viable business. Up to that point, really, you're just, you have a friends and family business, but not much more than that. So to get outside to strangers really is what you're trying to do. And there are lots of different ways that you can do it. It can be a little nerve-wracking at first. You have to get outside of your own comfort zone, put yourself out there into a place where maybe you just feel uncomfortable about it. I know when I started with this, I knew that it was great wine. I knew that with all the donations and the give back that we do, that I had something great to offer. But still in my head, my little inside voice is saying, help me, help me, help me do my business, have a party for me, buy wine for me. So even though we know that intellectually that we have so much to offer, it's a change of mindset to really think about what we have to offer. We have an amazing product to offer. Not only is it just delicious wine, as we know from trying it, from tasting it, we know from Mara's education, and all the rest of it, but we have this product that allows the company to give back a donation to the partnering organizations. We have a product that allows our hosts to not only get their friends together and gather friends, family, neighbors, but to raise money and support a charity that they are perhaps passionate about, or their kids' school. So we have so much to give, and when you change your mindset around that, it makes it much easier then to go up and talk to a complete stranger about what we do, and offer all of the different things that we have, if that makes sense. So when you start doing things with other people, like I said, it can be a little nerve-wracking at first, but when you make it all about them rather than you, then it just makes it easier, and it makes it something that you actually want to do more of. So starting out, does everyone that you know that you have a business with Via One Hope? That's kind of the first thing to think about. And you may have already told a few people, but perhaps there are others that you haven't talked to about it because you feel kind of awkward. You want to make sure that everyone at least knows that you have a business with VO One Hope. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to sell them wine or have them host a party or anything like that, but you want to make sure that everyone at least knows that you are working with VO One Hope and educate them on what you have to offer. Because really what we want to do is not so much sell to the people that we know, but work through them to the people that they know. So that's a great way of looking at it. You're not selling to your friends and family, you're selling and reaching out through your friends and family to their wider circle of acquaintances and then strangers and beyond. So you might say something to the people even that you know. I just wanted to let you know that I am loving working with VO One Hope. I don't know if I've even told you all about it, but just really succinctly, VO One Hope is a Napa Valley winery right in the heart of Rutherford who inspire other people to do good. Every product has a built-in donation to a good cause, and then we help nonprofits locally and nationally and globally raise money for themselves. And so you're giving them education. You want to ask those people who they know, because you have a circle of friends and family of a definite number, but then each of those has hundreds of people that they know beyond. So you're reaching out through them. You're going to be passionate, enthusiastic when you're talking about your business. And for me, I don't know if you can hear it in the way that I talk, but I am fully on board with One Hope. And so everyone that I talk to, they know how much I feel for this company and what we do, and how blessed I feel to be a part of it and helping others to have a great time with friends, for sure, but it's about raising money for their charity and who they're passionate about. So let those people know that, as well as that quick piece about the company, that they can get great wine through buying from you at any time they like. They can just go to your website. They can come to an event that you may be having. A great idea is to host your own wine tasting event every month, every couple of months, and that way you have something to invite people to. So you want to probably have some people that you know come to that just for kind of support maybe at the beginning. But then when you're in the checkout line at Whole Foods, you can say to that checkout person that you've made a connection with, you know what, I love what I do and we have great wine, and you know, actually you have some of our wine here, but I would love to invite you to come to my next event. It's at my house. And it just come along, try some wine and let me know what you think. So always have something that you can invite people to. You want to make sure that the people that you're talking to know that you're offering them a chance to not only get together with their friends and have a great night, but raise money for who they're passionate about. They get that opportunity. And so you're educating your circle. Help them understand that you get paid in money. You don't just get paid in wine, although, you know, that's kind of a nice perk, a bonus that we get free wine and we get to buy our own wine at such a great price. But we get paid in money. And how much would $500, $200, $1,000, $5,000? There are folks in our company who are earning upwards of 5, 6, 7. I don't know even what the top earners are earning commission-wise, but it's big money. So what would that make? What difference would that make in the lives of the people that you can touch? Make sure everyone that you know knows all of this about what you do as a business. And again, you're not trying to put them on the spot. You're trying to reach out through them to who they know. Help them visualize what changes they could make in the life of their cousin, their daughter, their friend who is struggling right now. Make use of the, I'm not sure if this is going to come out the right way, or looks like it has. This is the why not list that is in the back office. Hopefully you've all seen that. So this is something you definitely want to keep running all the time. It just gives you categories of people to think about. Keep adding to it all the time. So there's that one, which is in the back office. I have another one here that I use, which is basically the Frank or the Franks list. So it has categories of different people: friends, relations, acquaintances, neighbors, kids. And then the S on the end of Franks can be social media. Now that we have so many ways of reaching out through social media, make use of those and keep adding to them all the time. And reach out to them what we as a company have already done. So I think it just was on the call, and I think Sabrina maybe just posted about this. The numbers that Tiffany shared with us this week on the call, those new numbers about what we as a company are doing are hugely powerful. So the 2,147 children with autism have been provided with ABA therapy. That's going to touch the hearts of someone who has autism in their family or someone that they know, and that's going to make them think of you and reach back out to you, or reach out to a friend and say on your behalf, you know, I want to connect you with Kaz because she can help you raise money. 47,000 animals helped, 156 children, life-saving medicine. So use those numbers that we have and just let people know what you're doing. Let's see. All right, so once you've kind of pretty much exhausted your family by plying them with wine and helping them understand your cause, and you know, they can only drink so much wine, really and truly. I mean, it's a consumable product, obviously, and you can sell perhaps more wine than saucepans to people, but there's a point reached where they've bought all they can, for now at least. So you want to reach out beyond them. And there are lots of different ways that you can do this. One that's really a good way that I have found really effective is to reach out in your local area and look for networking groups. So with our business, we're looking for men and women and companies. We're looking really for any opportunity. So do something like a Google search, or ask your other friends who live close by, where's a good place to go and meet business people? So you can search for something like local business networking events in Denver, or mums groups in my local area, or toddler groups, or women who like wine in the area. You think about, who do you want to connect with? And that may be just business. That may be what you're looking for other women or men in business, like BNI groups, or I run a group called Radical Referrals. And through that, I help other women with their business, and they in turn support me. So you can join a group like that. Some are free, some are membership based. But you also just think about life. So with a product like ours, just living life, you're going to meet people who can extend your reach for your business. If you have kids, then that's kind of a no-brainer. Or if you have animals or dogs, make sure that you are meeting new people. Because if you've kind of run out of people and you're like, well, I can't book any shows, I don't know anyone, everyone has said no, you need to meet new people. So find a way to do that. And again, you can go to your local church. If you have a church that you go to, join one of the small groups, or a Bible study. You know, that sounds kind of weird, but most of my friends at my church love a glass of wine. Not like they're necessarily going to drink a ton, but again, it's reaching through them to who you know. So just building relationships, making friends, is going to allow you to expand your circle naturally, organically. So it may be a dance class, or it may be, if you love to run or ride a bike, join a group that does that. Look on Meetup and find a group of like-minded people that you can just get to know, just become friends with. And I think you'll be amazed how much business can just naturally come from not really trying to work it, but just enjoying yourself, talking about what you do. Your enthusiasm and your passion is going to come out. And when you let people know who our winemakers are, Rob Mondavi Jr., Tony Coltrane, Mari, A lot of people obviously have heard of Mondavi, and you can explain about the others and just invite them over, invite them to your next event, and have them try the wine, invite their friends, and it just goes from there. So go ahead, I want you to put in the chat box, it looks like there's quite a few people actually live in here right now. Add in ideas into the chat box there of groups of people that you could reach out to. So if something has just sparked and you're like, oh my goodness, yes, I could reach out to the local line dancing group, or, well, I love cooking. I love going to that cake making class or that design class at Michael's. Any of those places, write all those in the chat box so that we can kind of share with each other. Just tons and tons. Think about everywhere that you go, just talking to people. It sounds stupid. I sometimes will just wear my name badge, and I don't have it here in front of me, but it's just a, have I got it handy? No, I should have had that. It's a name badge, but it's got a picture of our, you know, that picture with the 5 glitter bottles. So it's a picture of wine with my name, and then I don't remember what it says, but it really catches attention. So someone says, oh, what's that on your badge? You have wine and you give back to charities. And so something like that just sparks a conversation when you're living your life again. Everywhere that you go, you're going to bump into people that love wine, and you're going to bump into people that are looking to raise money for their nonprofit or their school, or just people that want to have a good time, and they see wine on your badge and they're like, oh, do you sell wine? And you say, yeah, I have great wine from the Napa Valley, and you can raise money for your school. And that starts a conversation going in line at Target or wherever. Lots of other direct sales companies. You'll meet the reps. You probably have a bunch of people in your network already who have businesses. So some of those make great partnerships for us. You want to be a little bit thoughtful about who you partner with, but when you either trade parties with them or do a combo party with them, you both invite people, so now you're reaching out to their network of people as well. You want to, like I say, be careful that you don't just end up being the bartender who serves the wine. You want to make sure that you are getting a full benefit from that event. I have one that I did recently with a Wild Tree food prep gal, and we just kind of traded off. So I talked about the first varietal of wine, and people were sipping on that as they were putting their meals together. She would talk about the meal, we'd go on to the next one, and we just kind of tossed that ball back and forth in talking about our businesses. Some others aren't going to work so well, and you know, just kind of figure out for yourself. Make sure that you're getting the most of it. Vendor events are great places then to reach a larger audience, and I think for me, it makes a huge difference the mindset that I take with me into vendor events. For our product, we don't have cash and carry. I guess the water bottle and the coffee you could do that with, but I honestly don't want to lug that stuff around with me. So we can't do cash and carry vendor events. Sales are probably not going to be the biggest thing you get out of it, unless there happens to be a giant sale on, which sometimes can work pretty well. So my mindset going into any kind of vendor event is always about getting leads for tastings, getting leads for nonprofit events, getting leads to talk with a charity, getting leads for folks who are intrigued by our business, and then follow up with them. So you want to have a really good method of capturing their information. You can use a sign-up sheet. So you just have literally a clipboard, and you just have people sign up with their name, their email, their phone number, and what they're interested in. You can use the little lead sheet that we have in the back office. Hold on one moment. So we have a lead sheet in the back office. There's a couple of other ones that I use, which I posted before in the community group. This is one that I love to use. It's a quarter page, and it has on here their name and their info. Yes, I'm interested in learning how I can support my favorite nonprofit. Please contact me. I want to order wine and gifts. I'm interested in the wine club. I'd like to have a wine tasting at my home or office. yes, I want to learn more about wine for corporate events, gifting and branding. I'd like info about the business. And then the last category I have is no, I just want to go in the drawing. I'm not interested in you following up with me. I just want to go in the drawing. And so that is the last question on my list. And that's my favorite one when people check that, because it means I haven't got to waste my time with them. Maybe I'll put them on my contact list at some point, but I haven't got to waste my time. And then this is another one that I had posted previously, and this is basically a similar format. This one has a 1 through 10 check off. So you want to make sure that at vendor events, you're gathering the information together about that person and what they're interested in, so that you don't waste your time following up with them inappropriately. You want to get straight to the nuts and bolts, and then you want to make sure that you take advantage of, make the most of, maximize the impact of going to that event and probably paying for it by following up. You want to follow up within the next really 48 hours if you can. And I know that we have a 2+2+2 follow-up strategy, which is follow up within 48 hours, 2 days, follow up in 2 weeks, follow up in 2 months. And so when you do that, you're just staying in front of people. You want to have maybe a newsletter that you send out when we have something to offer. So the wine club, send a newsletter out to your folks. Who knows, out of the hundreds, thousands of people that you now have perhaps in your contact list, who's going to be interested? Someone that you met 2 years ago, who now all of a sudden is ready for something like that. So vendor events, great for reaching that larger audience, not necessarily about sales, but more about making connections. Keep your display simple. We have great product. We don't have to put frou-frou stuff all around unless you love doing that and want to spend the time doing that. But, you know, keep the message clean. Other ways to reach out to a bigger audience are through doing company events, galas or galas, I don't know how you say that, for charities, for nonprofits, or for companies. They can be great. You have to kind of be a little bit, again, thoughtful about working with those bigger events, because oftentimes the locations require that the wine comes through distribution. So sometimes you can be the person who works with a wine sponsor. The wine sponsor buys the wine from you. You give them some at the host price, and you give them some at the event discount, knowing that money is coming back to the organization. You know, you want to make sure that you do a little of both. So sometimes you can do that. You can be the wine person who is providing the wine through the wine sponsor for the event that's being served. Some locations, many don't allow that. Wine has to come to distribution, which can still be managed. What I do in those situations is I will ask if I can set up a tasting table. So I'm not the wine that's being served, but can I have a tasting table at the side of the room somewhere with some of our varietals that folks can taste and try a little bit? That's one way of doing it. And then they can order. Or even without that tasting component, pretty much always, you can set up just a display table and have a display of our wine. You can have signage about what we do. You want to definitely make sure that whoever is the MC mentions that you're there and why you're there. I have previously done events where I had a display table and people came and looked at me, but they're like, what are you doing here? I don't know what you're doing here. And so having the MC introduce you and say, hey, this is what we're doing. You can help our nonprofit by going and chatting with Kaz and ordering some wine. 10% of that will come back to our organization. So please go and see her. So make sure that you chat with the organizers ahead of time to facilitate that happening. Let's see what else. Again, it's about the attitude that you go into that event with. And then corporate gifting. So I know we have kind of separate trainings in the back office about vendor events, about corporate training. Check those out. They're phenomenal. Corporations, companies, large and small, give gifts year-round. And obviously, right now, coming up to Christmas and the holidays, a lot of companies are looking at that. Some start looking at that in August, September, October. You really don't want to leave it too much longer to start reaching out and making those connections. I know that pretty soon, Sabrina, we're going to get that new catalog that everyone is waiting for. And the wrap, we're going to get a belly band wrap with some new ideas, I think, for seasonal products. We have the corporate gifting turquoise wrap that goes around the catalog. So we will have lots of things available to assist you in giving that message. And when you go into meetings with folks, just go in from your heart. You want to be professional, but at the same time, they're going to hear from you how much passion you have about what we do, and how not only are they going to get great gifts for their clients, but you're making an impact in the world. You're making a difference through this gift. It's a beautiful gift with fantastic wine and really delicious goodies. It's not kind of cheap filler stuff. It's really good quality contents. There's that little card that comes in the gift box that says this gift makes an impact through a donation to whoever, ASPCA, whatever it is. Companies love our gifts because it's a great gift, because it has wine, and because it makes an impact. Those are the top 3 things that companies are looking for. So definitely be reaching out, again, through the people that you know. You'll be amazed how many people you know who have connections with businesses or charities. Even if it's a small company who are referral based, they probably give gifts throughout the year, and that could just be something that adds to your sales throughout the year. Think about also people like realtors, real estate agents, doing open houses, or let's think who else, loan officers, title companies, all sorts of businesses will do a client appreciation event around this time of year. And that's a great opportunity for you to provide the wine for that, being paid for that by the company, but being the wine that's there. And again, having a display table set up, mixing and mingling with the guests who are there. Have some kind of drawing that you do, again, using your little sheets here with the, no, I just want to be in the drawing, leave me alone, point on there, so you don't waste your time. And give away one of our water bottles or some little fun wine related thing. How am I doing on time? Am I all right still? Should I keep going? All right. Let's see. I think that pretty much was what I had. I think so. Kind of to summarize that, reaching out beyond your warm circle, you're using that circle of people that love you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, to reach out beyond. That's one thing. Use networks, business networks or social networks to meet new people. And then it's not just about the people that you're meeting in those clubs and what have you, but the people that they know. So it's kind of an exponential growth of this small group leads to this bigger group, to these little satellite group, and then out beyond. Every party that you do, every wine tasting that you do, you definitely want to do some kind of information gathering activity, which really is using, again, something like these little sheets, because not everyone is going to order, or you're going to get people who are sharing, combining an order. And so you've got 6 people who are getting 2 bottles each in a case. You're only going to get the information for one of them on the order form. So I always do some kind of little drawing with the drawing sheets, and I just use tiny little things. I actually get a packet of those, you know, those pens that write on glass. So I use stemless wine glasses at my parties. So instead of having a charm on the stem, I, from Amazon or Bed Bath & Beyond, just order up packets of the pens, the glass writer pens, and I give away 1 or 2 of those for my drawing, and everyone loves them. A lot of people haven't seen those before. So that way I've gathered the information for everyone who's at the party, so that I can add them to my database and then know to reach out to them. And I also ask people to jot on the bottom of that little form, who do you know that I could reach out to? Do you know someone that has their own nonprofit that they've created, or do you know, is your spouse maybe work for a company that does client or corporate gifting? So it's all about the people that you know, and reaching out in that way. Vendor events, large events for companies, galas, charity events. Who else has got other ideas? What was here in the chat box?
Let's see here.
Wine lover groups, mummy meetups, toddler groups.
Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, let me chat about that for a minute.
Yeah.
So business groups like that can be really, really great for us. I'm a member of my local Chamber of Commerce, and it's a time you have to be involved. And I think that's true with any of these things, is just being involved. You can't, there are lots of social media groups, groups on Facebook, and I'm in quite a few groups on Facebook, and I see people who do drive-by. Like, this is like drive-by advertising. They just drop in. They're never in the group. They're never interacting. It just seems like they have the same thing that they post in all the groups that we're both in. And so I see a post from one person about, I don't know, even a product. Mine's gone blank. Hair stuff. All right. And they post that same group. Look at my product. Look at my product. We've got this. Look at this. I'm never going to look at that because I don't know you. You're just dropping that into all the groups that we're in. So don't be that person. Rather, your better use of time is to build relationships in fewer places. And I know when Caroline did her great presentation last week on, was it last week or the week before, on nonprofits? What she was saying is so true. She's building a relationship with 3 nonprofits at a time. So she's making use of her time to build that relationship strongly. So she has a strong relationship that will last, rather than talking to 100 nonprofits and just seeing what you get. So be kind of strategic about who you're talking to, as well. Pick and choose the ones that really touch your heart, because they're the ones that you're going to be able to do the most for. And I guess at the same time you are reaching out to many others, but maybe there are just some that you kind of concentrate your attention in to make sure that you're building that to be just a relationship that keeps going, that again is not just, oh, let's do a fundraiser and then I'm going to forget about you and go on to the next one.
Kaz, I think you bring up a great point. I feel like part of this business is really, and this is the customer service girl coming out right now, but providing great customer service and a great experience for your customers goes a long, long way in this business. I feel like, Kaz, you're able to build a great community of customers and future CEOs because you provide a great service and a great experience for your hosts, your customers. Talk passionately about the business. Talk passionately about what you do and why you're proud to be a Via One Hope CEO. I know from the beginning, I've been with One Hope for 9 years now, and I am still so proud of what we do. I proudly hand out my business cards to every person that asks me what I do. I think One Hope has that difference, is that I'm super proud to tell people about what I do. And there's never a time where someone's like, oh, I don't want to hear about it. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what do you do? Oh my gosh, it's so great that you guys do what you do. And is it great wine? I'm like, yes, it is. Like, it's amazing wine. Here's a bottle or whatever, So definitely don't be afraid to talk to people. They want to hear about it. And then once you hand them your business card, get theirs back so you can provide a good experience for them. I think that's one big thing. Like, when you're talking about growing your circle, you don't want you want people to talk proudly about it as well, right, and have a great experience with you. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I thought that was, when you kept talking about growing your circle, you're able to grow your circle because you are providing a great experience for everyone that you're talking to.
Yes, and just you now sparked a thought when you talk about giving your business card to someone. When you meet someone out and about, you definitely always want to have business cards with you. Maybe some other literature, maybe like a little half a page or a one page. Yes, on your phone, Kelly, a one pager or a half a pager, which just has a bit more info. I have something like that. I just keep it, and I actually have them in a Ziploc bag so they don't get messed up. And then I have something more than a business card that I can give somebody. But you want to make sure you get their information. And I do this most of the time, but not all of the time. When I'm at a restaurant and the waitress is giving me great service, or someone somewhere else gives me great service, and I feel like I've made a connection with them, I'll give them my card and say, this is kind of weird, but I love your service today. I think that you have such a great attitude, and that's really important to me in my business. I would love to have you check out what I do, and if it's something that you're interested in, I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee. So here's my card. If you're comfortable giving me maybe your information, and I don't actually say the word information. If you're okay with giving me, jot down your name and your number or your email or something, so I can just check in and see what you think. And most people do. So you always want to have a little notepad with you, or Post-it note is another thing that we talked about before, is just have a Post-it note stuck on the catalog that you're going to give someone, and that then is a reminder when you hand the catalog over, like, oh, there's my Post-it note. That's just so I can remember to ask you for your name, email, so I can follow up with you. Otherwise, what happens is you give all these business cards away and they go out there, and the chance of anything ever coming from that is pretty low. But if you at least have a means to give them a quick call, let them hear your voice, or send them a quick email. Hey, I met you at the Chili's. You were our waitress on Thursday, and I thought you were amazing. I wondered if you'd had a chance to look at my website. If you're interested in that, if you love wine, your friends love wine, let's chat. Let's set something up. It's very it's not aggressive at all. It's just being friendly and kind of reaching out through living life.
And Kaz, we have some questions in here for you.
Okay.
From Kelly Smith, we have, what's a good balance of tasting, vendor events, and galas? Like, what's a good balance to try to keep it?
From Kelly Smith.
Yeah.
Kelly Smith, right there.
Right there.
You're first on my little Brady Bunch. I don't know that there is the perfect balance, quite honestly. I think it's whatever you want to fill your calendar with. I love wine tastings, absolutely love doing wine tastings. I don't love vendor events, but I know that they're good for business. So I'll do a few of those, and I'm pretty picky about which ones I do. I honestly don't like the big giant ones. I know a lot of people love them, and do it. Go for those if that's what you love. But I like to get a few really good solid leads at my vendor events. I'd rather get 5 great leads where I've been able to really chat with that person and understand them, than do a big event with 1,000 leads, because then I've got 1,000 people to follow up with, or maybe 500 if they've checked no. So I fill my calendar based around my family schedule, based around really just what I can manage. So wine tastings, I love. Vendor events are great. Galas, really whatever you can get. Again, talk to people that you know. Most larger nonprofit organizations do some kind of fundraising event at least once or twice during the year. And again, some of those you can be the wine that's used through their wine sponsor. And some you may just be there as a presence. I think it comes down, Kelly, to how you want to spend your time. And you get to a point after a while. I've been with the company now since November of almost 2 years ago, where I don't actually want to say this out loud. I'm going to touch wood, but I almost have more than I have on my calendar, more things that I could do. So I don't reach out as much as I used to because my calendar is pretty full. And so with our business, because it's wine, because it's giving back to nonprofits, because of all the reasons that we've talked about, I think that you will, with your business, as you grow it, either gradually and slowly or quickly. There are some folks who have grown super fast. You'll be able to be picking and choosing what you do. So, the big rock story with the rocks and the glass jar. Put in your big rocks first, your family events, right? And then the other pieces fill in the gaps. Make sure you have on your calendar the things that you want to have on there, and decide for yourself, manage your time for where you want to have events or tastings, and then kind of work at it from that direction. So whatever works for you. That was a long answer. I could have just said, yeah, whatever you want to do.
No, I think that's great, Kaz. Okay, so let's see here. We have another question from Michelle. I'd love to have an idea of what kind of samples of wine, gifts, coffee I should have on hand. So, like, do you keep a little stash at home to give out? Of wine and
I don't. I'm pretty mean. I'm pretty stingy. I don't really give a lot away because we don't need to. We don't really need to. I like wine, so my husband doesn't mind that I have inventory in this business. It's not really inventory; it's my wine. Well, it's our wine, really, but it's mine, really.
I think that's a great benefit of this business is you don't have to have inventory. Everything's through your website.
Yeah.
All orders are placed through your website. You're never just handing someone a bottle.
That's right.
So like maybe having some coffee on hand or some of our non-alcoholic gifts on hand for you to, or even some gifts for your displays.
I have gift boxes that I use for display. I just got the pantry essentials. I think that's what it's called, which is non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm doing an event with my church, and they were very much adamant they didn't want wine involved. So I'm having a couple of the non-alcoholic gift boxes, and I guess since it doesn't have wine in it, I could sell that cash and carry at those events.
It's not something that we.
No, I wouldn't want to do that because like lug around gift boxes. So I really don't have a lot of stuff. I don't really do vendor events and do cash and carry. Maybe that I miscommunicated that. I have a couple of wine thermoses, water bottles that I usually have a few of those in stock. I still use that term. I usually have a couple of those in the boxes because they do make for great giveaways.
Yeah.
And if someone wants one, a friend or a friend of a friend wants one, then I can do that. But I don't really have stock on hand at all.
Yeah, I think that's one of the huge benefits is the fact that all orders are placed through either a party link or through your storefront for your customers. So you're not having to have a huge stock on hand or any stock really. It's just what you want for your personal use. If you have some girlfriends over and you want to pop open a bottle of one of our reserves so they can try it, definitely have that on hand. But other than that, there isn't much that you really need to invest in besides your business, your starter kit, and any business supplies you want to have on hand.
That's it. And then, when you're working your business, we get the monthly bonus points, or you get your fast start bonus points, and you're not even having to necessarily pay for those couple bottles of wine that you have on hand or your catalogs or any of those things, because you're getting those free with generosity of the company and giving us bonus points.
Yeah. Let's see. Does anyone have an example of a half-page info sheet that you can hand out or have available? I know, Kaz, you have that quarter sheet. You said you already posted it on the community page?
That's the lead sheet, yes.
Okay, perfect.
I think, I don't see that message in here, but the information sheets that I was talking about is just literally, it's just saying something with a picture of the wine at the top, your information at the bottom, and just in the middle of it saying what I said before, which is the verbiage I use a lot is One Hope is a Napa Valley winery, inspiring others to do good. Every product has a built-in donation to a good cause or a nonprofit that we partner with. You also can raise money for a school or nonprofit that you love through sales of wine and gift boxes at your event.
Yeah.
So just something like that. It's more than you can put on a business card. I think it's better if it's not fancy. It's just something extra that you can give away.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for our questions. I think today's call was jam-packed with information, like so much information, but I love it. And Kaz, do you have anything else to add before we close up this call?
I would just say, get out there and do it. This is the busiest time of year. October, November, December is going to absolutely rock. And I don't know how the company are going to deal with 2,000 people going to Mexico. But,
we'll make it work.
Fun, right? Wouldn't that be amazing?
That's so amazing. Yes, definitely take advantage of our double points this October for your sales.
Yes, double points. So let's just get out there and spread the love and do it. See you on the beach.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Kaz. And I'll go ahead and post this recording later this afternoon so you can share it with anyone that wasn't able to attend. And we'll see you next call.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.